for tuning in for another riveting episode of the GRA Camp Rockorama Morning Show. Yeah. I'm your host, Jamie Barr.
And I'm your co-host, Matt Whitaker.
And it's going to be an interesting and enlightening day here at Camp Rockorama.
Secrets will be shared, revelations revealed, the impossible will be possible. At least that's what it can feel like when we're using social media.
Which is what today's theme is. We'll be discussing all the ups and downs and smiles and frowns of social media.
What someone shares with the world can be an insight to their life, their experiences, and their mental state.
It's true that. Speaking of mental state, we'll be learning about some of the ways social media can affect our mental health and self-image. I know I get social media anxiety sometimes. I start to write something I'm thinking or concerned about, whether it's a post or comment. Sometimes my mind will let me compose what feelings I feel, and sometimes they're funny or witty and really heartfelt. And then I'll take forever proofreading it and editing it, but then something happens, I start feeling shy and bashful, which isn't even how I feel or act. My mind just starts bringing up all of these random things about fear, then I suddenly start erasing it all because no one wants to hear what I say.
But people always want to hear what you have to say, Jamie. You're hilarious, and some of your posts are very poignant. I'm kind of surprised to hear about your social media anxiety.
Yeah, it's not all the time, but it kind of comes and goes. Other times I start doom scrolling and,
Doom scrolling? Is that a death metal band? Doom scroll would be a great band name.
It would, but it actually kind of shows up when I feel depressed. I start scrolling through my Instagram and Facebook feeds, liking my friends' posts about their pets, their projects, their meals, everything that's happening in their daily lives. But then I see it. Some terrible meme that's all racist or bigoted or sad or upsetting news, and it changes my whole mood, and definitely not for the better.
Yeah, that's a slippery slope to climb.
Yeah, well, you know what they say. Misery loves company. And when you're an empathetic person, it's really easy to be affected by negative stories, comments, and posts. Social media provides a window into someone's life, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And sometimes there's this morbid curiosity, and it just feels like you can't look away, and you just keep scrolling from one story to the next, and then you realize you've lost a lot of valuable time making yourself feel upset and lousy. And that's the rest of your days go in that way.
Oh yeah, I can relate. I totally do that too. I didn't realize that there was a name for it.
It takes a lot of bunny videos to get me into the right mindset afterwards to enjoy my day.
Do you ever feel competitive with other people? Like, sometimes I compare my own life with what's happening in others. Sometimes it makes me feel grateful for the life I lead, but then more often than not, it leaves me feeling lousy about my body or my life or what I've accomplished so far.
Yeah, comparison is the thief of joy. But that's why I'm glad Danielle Hout Cooper is back to discuss photo manipulation effects and its impact on our psyche, along with what you want to share there, Care Bear.
Oh, social media can be a great tool. Besides keeping up with long-distance friends and family members, you're able to advertise your band or the projects you're working on, which is why we'll also be discussing how to market your band or your projects through social media with the awesome band logo design workshop led by my good friend and bandmate, Billy Buck.
Plus, a little birdie told me that comic book artist Kate Zeller will be here to lead us on how to make a zine, which is so funny because it doesn't require a lot of artistic skill, or you can create one about anything you want. It's like a poetic picture of anything your heart desires.
Okay. It's a lot like a dream board, except with more pages about anything you want. You can make one for your goals in your life, or what you hope to happen with your band.
Or even your favorite animals or food. What's also great about a zine is that it's yours. You made it and you get to decide whatever you keep in it or whatever you decide to share with your friends.
So stick around because today's show is going to be a doozy. So many bands are playing shows and releasing music, and I'm just not fast enough. I don't work hard enough. My butt does not look like that. Is it supposed to look like that? I don't understand.
Hey, what you doing? Are you on that Instagram shame spiral again?
You don't know me.
Well, actually, I do. But you're probably looking at all of the other bands thinking, that you're not working fast enough or hard enough, or maybe you're just possibly comparing your body to others again?
You got me. You got me.
I know. I know what you see on your phone seems real, but just remember, folks are mostly posting their best moments, not necessarily the struggles they face every day that they hide from the rest of the world. All these folks are just like you and me.
So what about this body stuff? I'm seeing images that just don't look humanly possible.
Some of them aren't. Let me let you in on a little secret. You see, there are these apps that were made to modify the appearance of one's body.
Why does this exist? Why?
Well, because in our society, for the longest time, we've been taught that we're supposed to look a certain way for the acceptance and approvals of others. It's not fair and it's not right. And a lot of people struggle with comparing themselves to others. And let me tell you, comparison is the thief of joy.
Okay, so I'm not alone. Not alone.
Of course you're not alone. You're never alone. But really, the more we look to these toxic expectations, the more we pollute our own minds and how we see ourselves, which makes it really hard to function in our world.
Yeah, that makes sense, and it makes me feel a lot better. You know, all this social media talk makes me want to take a class on how to social media. I wish that existed.
Well, you're in luck, bud. Remember Danielle?
Yeah.
Well, she put together a workshop on just that. She'll be covering photo manipulations, its effects, and how it affects us, plus what to post and what not to.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome!
I know.
You know, I remember when social media was invented and I never got the opportunity to learn about this kind of stuff, only in real time through trial and a lot of error. I know this will help me and our campers as well.
Totally. We need this more now than ever. We're in a totally digital world now, and it's important to learn how to use social media as a tool instead of a weapon, so social media doesn't use us.
Yahoo! I'm pressing play. Here we go.
Here we go.
Hi, my name is Danielle, and today we're going to be learning about identity and self-esteem when it comes to social media. Don't mind me, I'm in a workshop right now, so everything looks a little bit weird. Alright, social media. Social media is important to our modern lives, right? It enables us to stay connected with one another while also getting a snapshot into other people's lives. Identity plays an important role in social media because social media is a big part of our identity. We use it every day, we use it in our everyday lives, and we create our social media personas in addition to our regular personas. And this goes for every platform, especially media-heavy platforms like TikTok and YouTube. Okay, so creating your social media persona. Remember, the internet is forever, so who you present online will be a snapshot of yourself forever. It's hard to get in there and take things off, so just remember whatever you put on the internet is going to be there. One thing to remember about being on social media is we don't want to misrepresent who we are. If you ever heard the term catfishing, it means that it's somebody pretending to be somebody that they're not, and it can be really harmful to other people. If we use and practice certain identifiers in our lives, we want to make sure that we do the same on social media, and we want to be responsible when we use our identifiers. We don't want to share too much, but remember, it's also okay to express yourselves. On the flip side, there are identifiers that you might not be comfortable sharing with the world yet, and social media is a good place to actually present those. So, for instance, let's use Alex from our first class. Alex may identify as they, them, and they want to use they, them pronouns, but they might not be comfortable using them yet. So they can establish their pronouns through social media. Social media gives us those tools to be able to do that, which is really cool, and it makes it a really valuable tool for everybody. Alright, sharing and caring. Personal stuff that you shouldn't post, and when to reach out to a friend in need, because that's a big deal when it comes to social media. be careful not to overshare on your social media profiles. You might think that it's harmless to share things like where you live or where you are, checking into certain places, adding your location to your videos, but it can be dangerous. You don't know who's looking at your social media. Somebody who might be your online friend may not actually be the same person in real life. Like, let's go back to catfishing now. It might be different. And you want to make sure that you're being careful and that you're being safe. Remember to keep your personal information, like very personal information, to yourself. Obviously, never share anything like a credit card. Don't share your cell phone or email with anybody that you don't know. The big one also is like your social security number. Things like that you don't want to share on social media. You don't want to share with people that you don't know. And it's important to protect your identifiers that you only share with your close friends and family. So you want to protect yourself from things like identity theft, and that goes back to what we were saying about not sharing your credit card number or not sharing your social security number. It also includes information that could be used against you. Remember, the internet is forever. So if your passwords have to do with something like your first pet or your mother's maiden name, don't share that with people, because then they'll be able to figure out your passwords. Sometimes social media is a place where people feel like they can express themselves, right? And sometimes social media is the only place where people feel like they can actually reach out to you. So remember, those people are going to be reaching out on social media because that's the only place that they're comfortable doing it. And if you feel like somebody sounds sad, mad, or anything else that might have them in a bad place, it's a good idea to reach out to them. You want to make sure that they're okay. There's a lot of things that are going on in the world that are really difficult right now, and it could be triggering for a lot of people that we care about. It's important to keep an eye out for people looking for some help, because they may not always ask for it, and that's a big deal. If you really think a friend or a loved one is in danger based on their social media activity, tell an adult, tell your adult, and ask for help for them, because they might not be able to. All right, photo manipulation. We've all done it. We've all put filters on our photos. Remember, no one is perfect. There's not a single person in this world who is perfect. Regardless of what you may see on the media and social media specifically, no one is perfect. Everybody's got a little bit of jiggle. Everybody's got something that they don't like about themselves. That's just part of being human, and that's totally fine. There's a lot of photo manipulation on the internet, and what may look like a perfect life could be a filter or a posed photo. So somebody could pretend that they're out of the ocean to make other people jealous. There's literally a jet that people can rent in Russia and just sit in the jet so it looks like they're going places. Remember, social media isn't always real, so just kind of take it with a grain of salt. All right, have you ever heard the term FOMO, or fear of missing out? It's real, and it's totally fine to feel that way. But try to remember that while you might be jealous of somebody else's life, there's probably somebody out there who's jealous of yours. So you're not the only one who's got FOMO today. Social media can give us really unrealistic expectations of ourselves and other people. You don't need the internet to tell you how to look, how to act, how to live. Really, just remember that social media is one faction of our lives. It is not our entire lives. You are perfectly wonderful just the way you are, and it's okay to be you. All right, one thing, take a break. Take a break from social media. It's a big deal. Take a breather. Get off of it for a day, get off of it for a week, get off of it for a month. Social media exhaustion has become a really big part of our lives. And if you feel like it's getting to be too much, put it down, unplug. Delete your profile if you have to. If it's not bringing you joy, then you don't need it. A good practice is to set a specific time in your day to engage in social media. So look at it and put it down. And if you have something that you feel like you really need to share, totally fine, just do it. But don't sit there and watch your like count, don't watch your comment count. But don't sit there and look at who's watching your stories, because it's not going to make you feel good. It's going to make you kind of anxious. There are many studies concerning social media and its effects on us. And if we're mindful of our activity and social media usage, then we can safely engage and still stay connected to the people that we care about. All right, here's a fun thing about social media: branding. So with your dance, you are able to brand on social media. One of the best uses out there is the ability to promote yourself for all your friends to see. Promote your music, promote your art, promote your band, promote yourself. Whatever is important to you through social media. And be consistent with your posts. Post about your performances. Show off new songs, new content. Anything that's affiliated with your music and your art. But remember to stay mindful and keep track of your social media usage, just like we mentioned before. Don't get too carried away with it. Social media, more consistently than not, isn't reality, but it's definitely a great tool to keep in touch with people you may not get to see often. It's awesome for band promotion, showcase promotion, things that you're proud of. But remember, it shouldn't take up your whole day. It shouldn't take up your whole life. Social media, again, is just one facet of who we are. It does not mean that it's everything. Be mindful, be great, because you are great.
Okay, campers, this next workshop is going to be super fun. Billy Buck is coming back to give us a tutorial on how to make our very own band logos. What? Now, I'm not sure if y'all knew this, but Billy has won multiple awards for her artwork. She makes posters and logos for bands and venues all over Austin. So she knows a thing or two about design. Pretty cool, right? She's going to show you how to make a great design that represents your band's message and look just the way you want. Y'all ready for this art class? Let's go!
Hi, Girls Rock Camp. My name is Billy. I'm a musician and a graphic designer that specializes in band art, like band logos, band posters, band t-shirts, band album art, stuff like that. I've been doing it for about 6 years, and it's a really great way for me to be able to use my creativity while also staying close to the music scene that I love so much. So today we're going to talk a little bit about designing a logo for your awesome new band. A logo is really important because it's the way that people will recognize your band once you start using it enough, and they're really fun to make. So here we go. All you're going to need is a pencil, a pen, some paper, and either a scanner or just your camera phone. But first, what is a logo? Well, a logo can either be the full name of your band. Here's a few examples. There's the Pixies, the Donnas, Destiny's Child, Fleetwood Mac, and Heart. And you can see how each of these have a really unique style of font. The font is the name for the letters that you're seeing. So each of these has a unique font that goes with each band. And when you're thinking about your custom font, try and envision what your band is going to sound like, and then try and envision what that would look like. So you can do the full band name for your logo, or some band logos are just the initials. So you can see here the Pixies, they just have their P with a stylized little wing coming off of it. There's L7, that one's kind of easy because their band is already initials. The GTOs, the Girls Together Outrageously, that was Frank Zappa's offshoot band of all his female friends and musicians. And then ELO for Electric Light Orchestra. So you can see these still have a stylized font, but they're just going to be the first letter of the band name. Next, your band logo could just be a symbol, like a picture. So, imagine your band name and try and come up with something that represents either how you sound or what the words mean. So here you're going to see first the little bear, that's Radiohead. And, that really doesn't have a lot to do with the band name, but it's more of a feeling that's invoked in that symbol. And then the next one after that is Prince. He had a great female drummer, Sheila E. The next one after that, the band is just called X, so they kind of got off easy with that one. And then under that, you have Nirvana, Rolling Stones, and the Red Hot Chili Peppers. So you can see that, some of these kind of relate to the title, but some of them are just a fun picture that they came up with that they thought was eye-catching. So keeping all these things in mind, what makes a good logo? First off, keep it simple. You probably saw in the last couple slides that none of those pictures were super complicated. There wasn't too much going on. Just imagine that you're going to be seeing this on stickers, so it'll be from real tiny to t-shirts, a little bigger, but you still want to make it something that's pretty simple, not too many lines. It's always good to design it just in black and white first, because when you print, the more colors you use, the more expensive it gets. So first rule, keep it simple. Next, make it eye-catching. So you want to be able to see this logo from across the room and say, that's the Rolling Stones logo. I recognize that. So think of something that's unique to your band and that's eye-catching and that's simple. The next thing is, once you think of your logo and get it all done, keep it consistent. So you want people to recognize this as your logo and your band. So once you start using this on your stickers, on your t-shirts, on your album artwork, people are going to recognize, oh, that little smiley face means it's this band. So keep it consistent once you've got it made up. And then once you're developing your logo, you want to try and match your vibe. So think of how your music sounds. Are you scary, loud, soft, fast, slow, funny, weird, cool, rowdy? So all of those things are just things to keep in mind. So now we're going to do a little exercise to try and brainstorm some band logo ideas. So you want to get together with your band and always collaborate, ask for help, work together, come up with something that all of your band can agree on represents you in your sound and your message. So get together with your band and try this exercise that we're about to do. Okay. So what you're going to want to do is just get a paper and a pencil and a thick marker laid out, and go ahead and write down your band name at the top of the page. Let's just remember what we're called here. Sorry, my camera is kind of fritzing out. Anyway, so let's try starting with the initials. So we're going to take, say my band name is Star Power, we'll take the S and the P, and we'll just brainstorm, doodle a little bit, just kind of see what you come up with. Try some different fonts and try put it in a circle. And each band member can do their own doodles and then come together at the end, or you can have one person draw while the other people give suggestions, if one person's a really good drawer maybe. But this should be a collaborative effort, so everyone can do this doodle process. So yeah, just try out things until you get one that you think you might like. Not quite feeling these. Let's keep trying some. Also, you might want to sketch these with a pencil first, but since we're just doodling, it doesn't matter if they're perfect at this point, so I like to just go for it with the marker. Oh yeah, I like that one. So let's take our initials now and try and see if we can do a whole name logo. So we're going to do the same thing as before. Just try out some different fonts and some different styles of letters until one kind of sparks your attention. Yeah, maybe. I like how that one's on an angle. Let's try another one on an angle like that. Let's draw a little angle line. Let's throw in our initials with the lightning bolts there and try and flesh out the rest of that logo. Oh, I think I'm liking this one. Yeah, that's looking good. I think let's go with that one. So, once you've reached a decision on what you want your letters to look like, you can try and play around with some symbols. So keep your logo handy that you decided on for inspiration, and just start to sketch out some little drawings that represent you. So obviously, let's try a star for us here. Oh, that star is not very good. Let me try with a pencil. Okay, that's a little better. Let's see, maybe a face on here. Yes, we like this. We like this. What else could we add? Oh, maybe some shooting star rays. Yes, I'm liking this. You know, I think that looks pretty good. Let's go with that. Obviously, you're welcome to try out more, but for time's sake, we'll go with that. So now let's try and combine our text and our image. So I'm sketching out a little angle line and a circle for the picture to go inside of. So let's redraw our logo. So since you want to be able to use this logo so much, you should get really used to drawing it. Draw it everywhere. Draw it on your notebooks. Draw it on your music that you write. We want people to know who it is. I need some more ink here. Alright, so we got the text. Let's try and put our little star friend in there again. Looking pretty good together. Yes, like this. So that looks pretty good, I think. Once you're satisfied with the design, let's do a finalized version so it looks real nice when we put it into the computer. So what I usually do is I'll trace over my sketch. And this time you're going to want to go kind of slow to make sure all your lines look nice. So you can't really see in the video, but in real life, I'm able to see through the paper underneath, so I'm tracing over my sketch. I'm going a little slower to make sure my lines are nice and thick. If you're not able to see through your paper, a good trick is to hold them both up to the window, and you'll be able to see through it that way. We're just going to go nice and slow to get it looking perfect. And let's see, I want to make a good circle. I'm going to try and use a pot lid. Let me find one. Oh yeah, perfect. Oh, that's about as good as the circle's gonna get, I think. All right, so now let's put, again, I'm trying to trace through my sketch that's on the paper underneath. So that way I can make the lines really clean. Looking pretty snazzy. So now you just want to take either, if you have a scanner, you can scan it in or take a picture of it and then email it to yourself or an adult, and you got a logo. Pretty groovy.
You know, I've always wanted to make my own zine.
Really? That's pretty cool. You'd be so good at that. Like, you have such a creative mind, Mad, and really great visual taste. I totally would read your zine. And wait, do you know Kate? She's a zine maker.
I think so.
And she's done more designs for like Halloween Man Comics, and she made a video on how to make a DIY zine. Wanna watch it with me?
I bet our campers would love it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah!
What is up, rock and rollers? My name is Kate, and I'm here today to tell you all about how to make your very own quarantine mini zines. So, if you're a veteran of GRA, you may already be a lean, mean zine making machine. You're gonna say, I've already got this down. But if you're new to zine making, you may not even know what a zine is exactly, and that's cool. A zine is a little DIY handmade magazine. They come in all shapes and sizes, and they come in all different genres. You can, You can make a zine about cats. I've definitely done that before. Zines can be collage, pictures, drawing, pencil art, photographs, song lyrics, poetry. Anything that you want to showcase in a booklet form, you can make into a zine. Lots of times in rock and roll and punk rock, you'll see zines as tributes to certain bands or certain songs that really get you going. Today we're going to learn how to make a mini zine, but lots of different kinds of zines exist. So I want to show you some examples of what a zine can look like and give you some inspiration to make your own. Your paper, sometimes with a cardstock colored cover, and then it is stapled. What's the best way to show you? It's stapled on the side, but it's just folded pieces of paper. This one is about magical cats. It's one of my favorites in my collection. And as you can tell, it's all black and white. It's all little comic doodles of cats. How weird is that, right? But it makes me super happy. So a lot of the time, when you think about zines, you're going to be thinking about something this size, which is just a normal piece of printer paper folded in half, hamburger style. One of my favorite examples of everything that a zine can be in a cool little tight package is this guy. It's actually a program for a wrestling event that I went to a long, long time ago. But it has absolutely everything that a zine can have. It doesn't even have a staple, and it's only 2 pages of paper. Wop, wop. But look at all the cool stuff that they cram into those 2 pieces of paper, which is just a perfect example of how awesome zines can be. So they've got art on here that looks like it's a poster for a wrestling event, but this could totally be a band poster for WrestleMania Symphony of the Night. And then on the inside, they've got a message to their readers with some cool collaged images they found on the internet. They have interviews with people who are part of the event. They have collage work of different, this guy was a wrestler in the event, but look, they've created a picture of him. They've taken pictures from maybe magazines or the internet and added them in the background. And then they've put cool fonts and text that they found on top. There's lots of different ways to cut and paste, and they've done it here too. So you can see the outline. They've taken this photograph and cut it out and then put it on a different background, and then they've added text on top. They even made a fake ad for a sports drink that doesn't exist. How neat is that? And on the back, once again, they've added text, they've added a super cool border, and then they've added some neat images that they found. There's a lot going on, and it's just 2 pages of paper. I've kept this for a long time because I love how creative it is, and there's no color, there's no nothing. It's just 2 pieces of Xerox black and white paper. So it's super simple, but also super cool. Zines can also be much, much bigger. This one is actually bigger than a regular magazine that you would get in the grocery store. It's also in color, right? This one came all the way from Europe. I ordered it and it came in the mail, and it was a very exciting day when it came in the mail. And see, they're using a limited color palette. So, like if you were going to write a song and you had 3 basic chords, and those were the chords that were going to build all of your song, that's kind of the same thing here, right? They have black, white, and then these 2 really beautiful shades of green, and that's everything they're using in the zine. So sometimes less is more, right? And sometimes you add just a little pop of color. Do you see this little bit of red right up here in the corner? That's like adding a minor chord to a major harmony and seeing what happens. So don't be afraid to experiment with maybe a little bit less or a little bit more in your zines. And then the ones that I really want to talk to you today about, if I can get the words out of my mouth, are mini zines. These guys are super duper tiny. Like, look, I can cover them completely with my hands. So almost like they could be a secret. This one I made, and it's all about raccoons. This is the exact same size that I'm going to show you how to make today. And then these were made by my friend Maya. Now, this is super duper small, right? What can you get into such a tiny package? Maya put an entire comic book in here. How crazy is that? Really, really cool stuff in a really, really small package. And the best thing about these is their size, right? Because these will fit in a back pocket. These will fit in the palm of your hand. They'll fit in a regular envelope if you want to mail one to a friend, or maybe mail one to, let's say, your music producer or your camp counselor here at GRA, just to show them how much you enjoyed the week. Or you could put one in the mail to yourself and have a cool surprise coming in the next week. These are super small, super easy to make, and there's absolutely every single way you could possibly decorate them open to you. So let's get started on making our very own mini zines. Alright, so now we've looked at a lot of different kinds of zines, but today we're going to focus on that last type that I showed you, the mini zine. I love mini zines because they don't require staples or any kind of specialized equipment at all. All you're going to need to make your very own mini zine, and heck, lots of mini zines to come. Woo, sorry, there's a cat on the foot. All you're going to need to make your very own mini zine is one single piece of paper and a pair of scissors. Okay, let's get started. A piece of paper and a pair of scissors. At the end, it might also come in handy to have a pencil running around somewhere. But let's start with your piece of paper. This is just regular printer paper, nothing special, nothing super swanky. just 8.5 by 11 paper. If you have construction paper or any other kind of paper in your house, this will also work. The same method will work. Your book will just be a slightly different size. Okay, so first things first, you're going to fold your paper hot dog style, which means we're folding to make a longer rectangle. Okay, easy enough. And then we're going to take this long hot dog rectangle and we're going to fold it hamburger style, or more or less in half. Alright, easy enough so far, just 2 folds. And then one more fold of that paper, and you have something that's about the right size to be a booklet, right? But unfortunately it doesn't have pages yet, it's still just a folded piece of paper. Next comes the magic step that will help fix that. Unfold your paper all the way. And because of the way we've already folded it, you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rectangles on your paper. These are going to become the pages of your zine. So, now that we've folded our guidelines, we're going to take our paper and we're going to fold it hamburger style. So instead of the long edges folding, we're going to fold so the short edges touch, just like this. Alright, so now you have your folded edge and an open edge. Leave that open edge alone, we're going to work on that folded edge. We're going to use the guidelines that we've already folded into the paper, and we're going to cut from that folded edge right to the center. So just take your scissors and stop when you get to that middle fold. Okay? Put your paper back open, and it should look exactly the same, except now those 4 squares in the middle have an opening between them, kind of like a little weird mouth. Now, you're going to take your paper again and we're going to fold it hot dog style one more time. But since the first time we folded this way, we're going to fold the opposite direction this time. So we're going to create kind of a new crease in your paper, hot dog style. You now should have this long kind of ribbon of pages. And right there in the center, you should see that cut that we made. So that cut is the magic part of the zine. You're going to take your zine on both edges, you're going to hold them together, and you're going to smush the center. Just like that. And then you're going to fold things down. And you're going to fold your zine back along those edges that we've already creased. So now it looks pretty much the same as it did the first time we folded it, but when you open it up, instead of just being a weird piece of paper, it now has pages like a book. Okay, and then the last thing you do, grab your pencil, and I'm going to number my pages. So if this is my cover, I'm going to start in this upper right hand corner and just put a little 1. Then open it up and put a 2 and a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then the back cover will be page 8. I like to do these in pencil so I can erase them later if I want to. But the reason I put these numbers on here is because sometimes it's hard to work with something this small, especially if you're using markers or something that might bleed through. So the best way for me to work on these zines is actually to unfold it completely and work with it as a flat piece of paper again. Those numbers now let me know where all my pages live, because they won't be 1, 2, 3, 4 across here. They'll actually be page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4, page 5, and then page 6, 7, 8, and you're done. The other thing to note is we put those numbers in the top corner of all of our pages. So the pages that are facing me right here are right side up, but now these pages are upside down. You'll need to keep that in mind when you're decorating so you don't have upside down pages in your zine. And those numbers remind you, if the number is upside down, you need to flip your zine to work on those pages. Okay, now we've got a perfect blank canvas. Let's move on to what we want to put in our zine. Okay, so at this point you should have your very own blank canvas to start your mini zine. But you may be looking at this going, what am I supposed to put in this thing? And the answer is, anything that you want. Zines are fantastic because there really are no rules about how to create them. There's no such thing as a bad zine. You have 8 pages of pure creative power right now. Use it to your full extent. And pure creative power can come from anything in your house. Pretty much anything that you can stick to paper. You can use old magazines as collage things. You can print out images that you love from a computer with an adult's help. You can use pens, paper, marker, crayons. If you have sticker paper, if you have cool tape, what if you have some cool perfumes or old scratch and sniff Snickers? Oh my gosh, make a scratch and sniff zine. How cool would that be? Maybe your inspiration for your zine is to find a song that you really, really dig. Put on your headphones, put it on a loop for a little while, and just think about how you feel while you're listening to this really cool song. And then take that feeling and see how to make an image of it on the paper. That may be the coolest zine in the world. You never know. And the best thing about these mini zines is they're one piece of paper. So even if you get halfway through and say, I'm not feeling this, all you need is one more piece of paper and you can start over. Not a big commitment, and you can make lots of them. But I do encourage you that even if you get halfway through a zine and you say, this doesn't look the way I want it to, keep going. Go ahead and finish it. It may be that you toss it in the garbage, but it may also be that it's the coolest thing you've ever made. Never give up halfway through a project, even if you're frustrated. Just take a break and come back to it later. Okay, so now we've got our zine all ready to go, and it's ready for interior decorating. Now, what can you use in the zine? Pretty much anything that will stick to your paper. I made an example earlier that is a combination of collage and marker and pen. I ended up using clips from old magazines and a lot of the markers I have around my house and a good old-fashioned Elmer's glue stick. If you don't have these things, or you don't have magazines to cut up, or that's maybe just not the way that you like to be creative, don't worry. Remember, there's no rules in zine making. You can always just use a handy-dandy pencil, or you could throw pencils around and see what happens, also an option. Or you can grab markers, which I have here, crayons, colored pencils. If you have a big collection of stickers, like I do because I hoard stickers like a dragon, you can always add some extra stickers. This is one that I made. It's of my cat. His name is Artie. Pretty much anything that you have around your house can be put in your zine. I also collect this fun stuff called washi tape, which is just little rolls of tape with fun pictures on them. It doesn't really come in handy for a lot of stuff. It's not super sticky, but it's great for zine making. But once again, even if all you have in your house is a piece of paper and a fun pencil, you're good, you're golden. So that's what we're going to try to do today, is I'm going to make a zine using absolutely nothing but my paper, a good pencil, and I might, just for a little bit of drama, grab a good old-fashioned ballpoint pen. Also something you probably already have in your house. Alright, I'm going to speed up this process just so it doesn't take forever for you to watch it. But let's make a zine. Okay, so now I'm finished decorating my zine. Did you notice how it changed from my first pencil doodles to my finished product with the pen? That's great. Never be afraid to change an idea or experiment with something. Remember, this is one single piece of paper, so even if you find that you've messed up and you want to start over, it's not a big deal. But I encourage you, even when you feel like you've messed up, to keep going. You never know which kind of happy accidents are going to make the absolute best zines. Okay, so now we're ready to fold our zine back into a booklet. So once again, we're going to do that hot dog fold. And then we're going to find, remember those little numbers that we wrote in? We're going to find our page 1. You want your page 1 facing up for you. And then we're going to squish again, just like we did before. And we're going to fold up. Remember, you still want your page 1 facing towards you. And then we're going to fold so our page 1 is right there in front. So now we have a whole zine that says G-R-A rocks my whole entire world. And it's super true. You guys inspire me to make all sorts of fun stuff. So there you have it. That's how you make your very own mini zine. The best part about these, as I said earlier, is just how small and easy to swap they are. They're like cool little trading cards that you can swap with a friend, even if you have to do so by mail right now. Always keep one in your back pocket. You never know when you're going to meet a new friend who might be into the same things you are, and you can show them a cool thing that you already have made, and maybe you can give it to them as a gift. Always, always fun. Always a cool way when you're thinking about a song or you're thinking about a problem that you haven't quite figured out how to work out. Maybe start a little zine about it. They don't take a long time, but they help you work through problems in cool and creative ways. They're also just really rad to look at. I would love to see any zines that you make. Please get in touch with me through Girls Rock Austin and let me see any photos or videos of the zines that you come up with. It's such a cool tool, and I hope you have fun making them. Peace out, rockers.
Wondering what it'll take to get my own. Wondering what it'll take to get my own. Wondering if I must sing it all alone. I'll sing in my mother's tongue. I'll sing in my mother's tongue. Wondering what it'll take to get my own. Wondering what it'll take to get my own. Wondering if I must sing it all alone. I'll sing in my mother's tongue. I'll sing in my mother's tongue. through this alone. Baka baka in my mind, utu in my heart. I know I go through this alone. I go through this alone. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Wondering what it'll take to get my own. Wondering what it'll take to get my own. Wondering if I must sing it all alone. so much for being here with us on the interwebs, wherever you are. It means a lot to us that you stuck around and that you're enjoying our music. If you like what you're hearing, feel free to find us on all the social webs, the interwebs, you know, the social platforms. It's not easy to be a human at any time in our history. We've seen the best of ourselves and the worst of ourselves. And on that spectrum, each day brings something new, a challenge for you to rise past and believe that you can be better than you were in your yesterday. So all I can say to you and to myself is that every day you try, you are a winner. Didn't I say all the right words this time? Blink once, blink twice. If you needed me to save you, Thank you. That song was called Satisfy Saturn. There's a lot of Saturnian energy going on right now. Hold steady. Space. The final frontier. These are the voyages of the TITS Enterprise. Engage. Come on. Come on. Come on. If you wanna do it right, if you wanna live life, if you wanna go, we can go all day. Trying not to do it all, trying to pay to feel it all. You can go for what you need. If you wanna do it right, if you wanna live life, if you wanna go, you can pass the day. Walking the street in your head, trying to manifest your prayer. They have the all see it. But if you feel it, you can say you with it. If you wanna go, you can change your fate. Send the smoke up to the sky, I think it's a dream that blew it in history. If you feel it, you can say you with it. If you wanna go, you can pass the test. See the cycle, take it slow, breathe it in and let it go. Back up your home free. You give me something I really need. Come on. So now we do it right, and yeah we do it up. You can say you live the life, but you just pass the cup. We can go forever if we change our ways. Looking for more promise, but expecting pain. And if you feel it, you can say you with it. If you wanna go, you can pass the test. Find the guidance from inside, stay connected through your eyes. See my soul for what it is. A little hazy, message on the daily. Holding on that shit, see the green if you hate me. And if your dreams get too big for the frame, you might throw it all away and forsake your name. Cause if you live it, like passes the flame, it'll scorch away the earth. Come on through, show you the way. On your path, stretch it to the sky. We on a mission of survival, no excuses left for life. And what you doing it for? Come on with it now. And what we doing it for? I said it one time, I'll say it 2 times. We can double speak on it and walk the same line. And look at this, you right square in the face. We all come from same floor, different patterns for days. Raise your hands, now we gotta dance. And then we'll call it travel and say we understand. The question of what's left, how to maintain. We can't pass on to the next one, you step on the screen. How you living? Right. And what we doing it for? Blah, 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 shit. Trying to find a reason to get worked up. Blah, 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 shit. I'm looking for a reason to get locked up. Blah, 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 shit. Trying to find a reason to get worked up. Blah, 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 shit. I'm looking for a reason to keep. You give me something I really need. When riding with you are. When riding with you are. When riding with you are. When riding give you everything you need. I breathe it all away. Give you all you need. I breathe it all away. Thank you. Thank you so much for listening. We're Trouble in the Streets, homegrown in Austin, Texas. Thank you so much to Ace the Bull for having us. We appreciate the opportunity to create art at this time when things are so uncertain. We got one more song for you. Checking for the street lights, trouble on my mind. This is our signal to play. Wait to kiss your check if you ain't been paid yet. You're in the wrong system. This is how we're gonna fight. This is our anthem. This is our coming of age. Walking toward the sunlight, straight within the moonlight. She's no whatever. So now we clever, right? We got that babe on it. We call it certified. They sell you sweet dreams. You tryna take that money? They caught you better hide. So what you gon' do? You jumped up on this new reroute the empire. Lost in translation, huh? Clicked in your own language, but you don't hear the call. Check the street light, trouble on my mind. This is our signal to play. Wait till you check if you ain't been paid yet. You're in the wrong system. So now we clever, right? We got that babe on it. We call it certified, fast. We sold up all the laces. We see in trees and faces. We on that coolie high. So what you gon' do? You jumped up on this new reroute the empire. Been checking mail for days, but we ain't seen that bread. We ain't checking for mama. Checking for the street light trouble on my mind. This is our signal to play. You ain't taking a shot check if you ain't been paid yet. You're in the wrong system. This is how we gotta fight. This is our anthem. This is our coming of age. Walking with the sunlight, straight within the moonlight. Take the whatever. You all about that money? You really need that dough? You all about that bread? But all you eat, no? You all about that money? You mess with crypto? You all about that bread? But all you eat, no? Checking for the street light, trouble on my mind. This is our signal to play. Wait to kiss your check if you ain't been paid yet. You're in the wrong system. This is how we're gonna fight. This is our anthem. This is our coming of age. Walking to the sunlight, straight within the moonlight. She's the whatever. You see me this morning, babe. Ooh, can you feel it go down and take you home? Let's dance. All right, we do it up. All right, we do it well. We about to get it in. Woo! We about to get it now. I pray and I hold on to the human I know. Trying to get it all back. here. You see me this morning, who will you feel it try to say you alright, we do it up. Alright, we do it well. We about to get it in. We about to get it now. I pray and I hold on to the human I know. Trying to get it all back. We let it all go. Why? Cause if we do it right, then y'all can stay tonight. And if we do it together, man, maybe we live forever. I pray and I hold on to the human I know. Trying to get it all back. We let it all go. Not the fool. I point my finger up to God. And I feel Thank you guys so much for listening. This has been awesome. Thank you so much for having us, giving us the opportunity to share our art with you. We hope to see you soon.
All right, folks, that's our show. We would like to give a special shout out to workshop leaders Danielle Hout-Cooper, Billy Buck, and Kate Zellers, as well as our musical guest, all the way from New York City, Supernova! Woo!
And thanks so much to our partners. We love giving our shout outs to the City of Austin Economic Development Cultural Arts Division, plus backstage chats with women in music, and the Horizon Foundation, plus Guitar Center, Stanberry Realtors with Share Tea Realtor, Ice Cream Factory Studio, and Halloween Man Comics. Without them, this program would not be possible. I'd also like to give a quick shout out to our board members who work quite hard to help us organize and make all of this happen.
And speaking of essentials, this program wouldn't be possible without our amazing staff and campers. We're looking forward to seeing all of you this afternoon in our live virtual workshops. These bands are going to be really awesome, y'all, so mark your calendars for our virtual showcase that's airing next Saturday, July 24th at noon Central Standard Time, where we'll be screening their original music videos.
What? Oh my gosh, this is gonna be fantastic. So thanks so much for watching. We'll be back with another phenomenal show tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. So check out our website, our Facebook page, and maybe just log on tomorrow, 10 a.m. to the Girls Rock Austin YouTube page. And that will be our last show of the week. So you don't want to miss it. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Bye.
Be sure to subscribe. Thank you.